Hi, and welcome to another episode of Funding Juicy Solutions. I'm Juice Ortiz, and today I want to talk about the history of the mortgage industry, the real estate market a little bit. So I have a couple charts I want to share with you. So this chart shows the history of mortgage rates since the early 70s, late 60s. And as you can see, there's about 6 recessions that have occurred. Those are the dark blue spaces in time. And the white line is the interest rate amounts throughout this time period of the last, 50 years, over the last 50 years. So over the last 50 years, there's been about 6 recessions. And each time a recession starts, you can see it goes up a little bit or a lot, but it's in the first portion of that recession, and then interest rates dropped. Now, I'm mentioning this because there's a lot of people that are concerned about interest rates skyrocketing, because that's what you may be hearing in the news. If before housing prices were skyrocketing when interest rates were great, if you're afraid you missed the boat, keep in mind that real estate goes up and down, mortgage cost goes up and down. So just keep saving, keep working, being faithful with your finances, so that way you can jump in when it's advantageous. Now, there's another key factor here, which is the cost of housing during recessions. All right, so if we look at this chart over the since 1960, so now we're looking at about 60 years of real estate. Over every recession, housing cost has stayed the same or increased in value, except for one time. And that was the 2008 mortgage meltdown, which was real estate driven. So keep that in mind if you're afraid to jump into purchasing a house solely because of rising interest rates or solely because of rising housing costs. I mentioned in another video about not panic buying, not panic selling. This is why. Now, these markets historically have been affected by a mass number of people buying or selling. But again, that's why we want to be wise with our investments. That's also why we don't want to treat the real estate market as short-term gain. Real estate, owning a home, is not a quick turnaround to become a millionaire. If you're buying a house to sell it and make a lot of money, that is not a great way to attack the real estate market, because you can lose really, really bad. And you can see back in 2010, there was a lot of people who, across the nation, who had to file for bankruptcy because they could not afford, or if they didn't file for bankruptcy, they were foreclosed on and they lost their house because they could not afford the house that they bought into. I hope this helps. Remember, whatever your situation, there's a juicy solution waiting for you. Take a look around the website. There's some helpful tips and in the resources tab and other blogs. Also, feel free to reach out to me and my team. We'd love to help you and see what you could fit for either now or even plan for in the future.